Hey, it's Sarah Christie with iHeartRadio Canada with the standing ovation queen herself, Adriana. It is so bittersweet to be talking to you right now. I just want to bow down. I'm such a fan of yours. I have to ask right off the top because I've heard, I know a lot of the queens talk about their feet not doing well. How are your feet doing?
They're doing actually very fine. It's
Oh,
most yeah. Actually no. It was very very hard on my feet, but now they're recovering. They're already ready for All Stars.
now you made it to the top five, and what a special episode to be a part of that was. I'm going to get
Incredible.
into why I think it needed a disclaimer to not wear, like to only wear waterproof makeup. We'll get into that. But how excited were you to have a fellow Quebecois star in the house, Mitsu?
And that's incredible because for me, representation is so important. That's why I was so proud of being on the show for having Colombia and Quebec represented together. But seeing being represented in the judging panel by Mitsu, which is an icon, a Quebecois legend, it was incredible to see her. It was one of my most gag-worthy moments in the show.
But it didn't even end there. This episode was just moment after moment. And then, so then you got these beautiful FaceTime calls from your partner. What was the energy in the room like during those phone calls?
So everything you could hear, well, thanks for Canada's Drag Race audio team, because everything you could hear was everywhere because everyone was crying. Like literally for each message we were crying. The last message I was like, no, I need some water. I'm so dehydrated right now. But it was tears of joy, of pride, of seeing our families that we hadn't seen for months now when we were there. It just felt like we were doing it for something, just to remember that those people were there for us, and they were waiting for us, and they were rooting for us. So such a high, and at the same time such a strong feeling of having someone that you finally can talk to. It was just amazing. It was weird to talk to my boyfriend only in English though.
Oh, right.
But no, it felt so good.
Yeah, speaking of, I mean, you gave this inspiring post about the roast episode, which alas, we have so much to just like dig apart about last night's episode. But the roast episode, you said, like, this is my first time ever doing stand-up, and it was in English. Like, that's not my first language. When those challenges approached you where you're like, whoa, this is totally out of my wheelhouse, what helped you get through them?
Well, the thing is that I was going there, and I was there to fight. And I know that I'm a versatile queen. I think that I showed what I can do, and there's so much more too. But I'm not. I don't fit into one category, so I can do a lot of things. And yeah, it was pushing me every time just to go further and further and further. Of course, the challenges that I felt more comfortable with was acting and group number, which we could see, but at the same time, I was able to do comedy in English, and I felt it was weird because at the beginning I felt that I was starting to lose it and second doubting myself at the roast, and I felt the way that I felt in the Snatch Game.
Let's get into the prom episode because I think that this episode should be shown in schools. It should be shown in offices. Everyone needs to see it. It is such a lesson of love and acceptance and body positivity. Now that you've had time to kind of reflect on being in that moment, what does that mean to you to be part of that episode?
But I could not ask for a better episode to go home to. Of course, I didn't want to go home, but just having these teenagers that I now see as heroes because they're there for our community. They're an example, but they're also there if you need anything. And that's what our community should be. It's being there for each other because it's not easy uh, becoming who you really are and your true self. So it can seem sometimes hopeless, and sometimes you could feel alone that there's nobody else that could understand what you're going through. And just seeing these kids showing themselves proud of who they are and working for our younger community, it was so special. I fell in love with each of them. They are invested in our community. They are working towards a better future for younger generations, and I I, I wish I had some people like that when I was younger.
Right. And so you had this beautiful conversation with your drag daughter, Belladonna, who looks
Belladonna.
gorgeous. I'm going to read it so I don't get it wrong, where you said you are helping the ones that are coming after you, because Belladonna was talking about how they helped get these gender neutral washrooms in their school. So who helped you personally get to that spot where you were shining? You've been shining on Canada's Drag Race.
So that's the thing, is that I felt so like, my family was supportive, but at the same time, becoming drag was so different. It was like having a double coming out. So I felt like, yeah, getting out of the closet twice, once for my family, second time for my family too, and same with the friends. But someone who has always been there is my partner through all uh, my drag experience, and he's been super supportive, so supportive. And through all that, he's been there while my family was trying to accept that I'm a drag now. And well, before him, I did feel a little bit alone, because I never saw anyone in my family that was like queer or a member of the or our community. So I didn't get any example like to grow with. So when I got in the community, it was learning from friends a little bit here and there. And I still think that I'm still learning so much. Like literally, I just learned so much from these teenagers that were in last night's episode, that it's a constant growth.
I think that's one of the things that makes the show so special, is the openness to continue learning and to continue growing, and just all of you being so open about your beautiful and not so beautiful moments, right? Now, okay, so you did it, you did the prom makeover, and the judges critiques, like they said you were beautiful, which, okay, there's no argument there, obviously.
Oh,
But then
thank
didn't
you.
feel the connection in the acting, which, I mean, the Spooktacular episode was an acting challenge and you won that. So how did you feel in that moment?
So I wasn't expecting that. I really was expecting. I saw my outfit, the outfit that I made. I saw mine. I was conscious that they didn't look like the same era, but at the same time, it didn't need to. I think indeed that maybe in the acting on stage, I don't know what happened. Maybe we didn't rehearse it again, and again enough. Sorry, but yeah, I when I watched it, I was like, okay, I can see why we cannot really see a connection between us on stage. But hey, I'm just glad that Friday got the best prom ever, and just making them feel like the most fab drag ever. It just made the episode, and I left smiling actually because they were smiling.
I love that. And then, okay, lip sync battle, standing ovation. That was a moment. What was going through your head during that?
Ah, the fire that I felt inside, I was like, baby, I'm burning. It was crazy just seeing them stand up and just like, oh, did I win? And then Sasha sashay away, and I was like, was that standing ovation for me too, or just for Isaac? No, but I think after watching it, I feel that it was very like tight in between. It was just so perfect, both of us together performing on stage, and that stage was on fire.
Yeah, you felt it. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. It was incredible. So, what is one of the biggest lessons that you've now taken from this entire experience that you're going to bring back to your already thriving career?
Yeah. So what I would say that maybe um, learning how to control myself, how to get myself out of my head, because I have a tendency to second doubt myself, and I know that a lot of us are like that. It's just trust yourself. You are good in what you're doing, and I'm good and doing drag, and this is my passion, and this is what I want to do for years again. So yeah, it's just trusting myself actually, and I'm learning, still learning to trust myself, and I'm proud of what I've done. So I'm trusting more.
That needs to be written on a mirror so we can all see that every single morning. Adriana, it was such a pleasure talking to you and watching you shine on Canada's Drag Race. And I know we're only going to continue to watch you shine in your career outside of Drag Race as well. So thank you for just being so fabulous.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm so glad that you enjoyed the episode and that you liked me. Thank you.